You see all the van life photos, you watch all the van tours, but do you wonder what this nomadic lifestyle is all about? Are you curious about life on the road? Social media calls it #vanlife. We call it home. I'll ask 10 questions to get you the stories that you want to hear from the people who live, work, and travel and adventure in this nomadic lifestyle. Welcome to Life on the Road. Ready?
I think so.
Okay, here we go. Welcome to another episode of Life on the Road, where I ask 10 questions to get you the stories that you want to hear from her Life on the Road. Welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's going to be fun.
I'm excited. Yeah.
It's going to be fun. This has been a super fun weekend. We are here in Bisbee, Arizona at Weird Wild West. We've been partying pretty hard.
Like 4 days.
For 4 days straight, yeah. And we're finally getting to the tail end of the weekend. Everything's starting to chill a little bit. And yeah, we're going to sit down and have a fun conversation. This is rad. I'm excited about this. As we always start the show, tell us who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been on the road.
I am Miranda. I own a Volkswagen Vanagon. I've been on the road for on and off 5 years. It's kind of cheating.
And you can shamelessly promote yourself
Yeah, because I was...
through this whole conversation right here. You can shout out your Instagram, anything you want.
Or my van Instagram is blocked. Or not blocked, but I got locked out of it, kind of.
Really?
I broke my phone, and my Instagrams are all linked with the same email.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to recover my password.
But do you have an
But I have,
Instagram
yeah.
people can go to?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Okay. Would you like to share that or no?
It's all the shits _Randa.
Perfect. We will post that there.
Okay. Sounds good.
How long have you been on the road? Or you said 2.5 years?
On and off for 5 years.
Okay.
Between it not being built out and just sleeping in it while the engines tore out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been kind of a lot. I was a snowboard and ski instructor for 5 seasons.
Okay.
So in the snow, I was in an apartment. But in the summer, I was out.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
We'll get to that part. And
Okay.
then, where are you from originally?
I'm from Wyoming.
Where?
Laramie, Wyoming.
Laramie, Wyoming. So,
Specifically.
eastern Wyoming. Southeast
Yeah.
Wyoming. Okay. Let's learn about your life on the road. Question 1. What was the beginning moment, cause, or inspiration to live your life on the road?
I've always felt
And
like
this
a hippie
is
kid.
River,
Yeah.
who's going to come in and out of the frame
This is my doggo.
all show long, which she's amazing. River's awesome. And then, yeah, before we start, cheers.
Actually, kind of did.
We kind of did, but it's okay. Now we're starting the first question, the first official question. So beginning moment, cause, or inspiration to live your life on the road?
Kind of always wanted a Volkswagen. I thought I was going to make it just like a, I don't know, fun vehicle to drive around in high school.
Well,
Shag carpet and stuff.
Yeah, but like
Ready to evolve.
what did you tell me before we started the show? You wanted to be a hippie.
Yeah,
And you
I
wanted
wanted a hippie van.
And you wanted a hippie van.
Yeah.
You wanted a VW.
And that was just kind of a back of the mind thought.
Yeah.
Then I lived out of my Jeep out of necessity
Okay.
for a summer and went, that might be really cool. Like,
Okay.
I want to look into actually being...
Getting a VW.
Yeah, like maybe I'll keep an eye out. So I did. And I got fired from a dumb job and thought this is like perfect time to, yet again, out of more so of a necessity, drop money on this van.
Okay.
And it was
So
in Jackson for $3,000.
you bought it in Jackson for $3,000. That's amazing.
Jackson Hole, Wyoming.
Yeah, of course. I mean, for $3,000, that's pretty awesome.
You don't see
You don't see
for
Vanagons
$3,000
for.
at
I was gonna say that's almost impossible nowadays. Like,
never.
like never. Yeah. So that's amazing. But you did it purely out of I need a place to live. I've been thinking about a VW or Vanagon. and
It'd be cool to
this is the time.
live in it and travel.
Yeah.
'cause the Jeep worked and it was really fun.
Okay, did this happen 5 years ago? When did this happen?
I got the van about 5 years ago, yeah.
Okay, all right, so.
And the Jeep was the year before.
Okay, so nomadic travel has been on the mind for a minute,
Yeah.
like wanting to do this.
So I want to see stuff.
Yeah,
I want to travel and
totally get it.
find where I feel like I want to live
Makes
when I'm old.
It makes perfect sense, and I think it's a wonderful way to discover that is living this lifestyle. You get opportunities to really truly find out like places that you truly love to be or want to be. So, and it rolls perfectly into the next question. Question 2, what has been your life like with other nomadic travelers while living your life on the road?
There are a handful of different types of nomadic travelers,
Yeah,
and
I think you're
all
the
of
first.
them have their like really, I don't know, they're all cool, like all their crazy ways, because we learn about how we build out our rigs
Yeah.
to suit our personalities and the
Yep.
way that we live.
Yep. I think
It's cool.
I think you're the first person in 20 some odd episodes that I've done that has brought up the very specific styles within the nomadic community, which I think is very important to talk about. I want to talk about it a little bit.
It brings,
And obviously the Vanagon
Yeah, there's a
group
lot.
is very specific. They're their own jam, right?
and there are levels to that even.
100%.
I feel like.
Yeah, 100%.
Because you've got like your fancy VW, brand new, or looks brand new.
yeah, completely renovated, like
Or immaculate
Yeah.
from
the
being
70s.
purchased.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
Whenever.
done to look original.
Mm-hmm.
And they are worth thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah, they're insane.
And there are these really rich people that keep them immaculate. And you're
Yes.
like, wow, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
And then you have the people that just want to be in them and drive them,
Yes.
and they know them, and they feel them, and they work on them themselves.
Because they love them. Yeah, exactly.
But that is something that a lot of nomads have in common.
That's very true, and we can say that a lot about the schoolie group, the bus group, whether it's a short bus or a full size bus. Even here we're sitting in a parking lot full of storytellers, which is,
I like to call them the mansions of Vanlife.
come on, you're gonna speak of Althea in such a way. I understand. Yes.
Well, it's nice and beautiful and pretty. And
Thank you.
Wow,
I
yeah.
appreciate that. She is a monster and in a wonderful home. So yes, but
are.
and again, like you said it earlier, and it's very specific to the person and how they want to use the vehicle, how they want to travel,
Yeah.
how they want to live their life.
Yep.
The important things that they want to do and see and go, and how they want to kind of,
Yeah.
and it's also a budget thing. Like, what
It
can
is.
you afford? Like, very few people can afford an Althea. I was fortunate to work most of my life, and now can afford that.
Yeah, and it suits your lifestyle.
And it suits my lifestyle, very much so. So. Welcome to Vanlife.
Are y'all filming?
We are 100% filming.
I'm glad my name is.
We're gonna shout out Ty from Backwoods Adventures. He's right here. He can come say hello. Come say hello. Yes, 100%.
Ty,
Exactly.
Backwoods Adventure Moms. I love every one of you guys.
We'll drop in the
Don't buy our stuff.
Instagram,
That is
the
okay
website.
as well, because I still love you. Thank you for letting me do this.
You're welcome, brother. This is our life, basically. Yes. I
I
mean,
think that we're really fortunate to be able to get together
yeah.
like this.
Yeah, no, of course. Like, to be able to come together with this broad, and I say broad community, but we are a nomadic community amongst very different styles and backgrounds and where people come from, and so, but yet we all have this commonality of living this lifestyle. And no matter what, like, we hang out and have fun.
Like,
This weekend's been fun.
it's been so crazy. I really like this town.
Yeah, Bisbee's
It's really cool.
Bisbee's super cool. Yeah, Bisbee's
I like it a lot.
been a super fun place. Question 3 is, what has been your biggest triumph and what has been your biggest failure while living your life on the road?
like that's a really tricky one because we have so many different down times.
Yeah. What you meaning with the rig specifically?
Yeah, and like mentally, because a lot of us are alone.
Huh?
A lot. And that's not something that's talked about very much, especially through social media. People show how much they're able to get together in these amazing experiences because we have a lot of amazing experiences with each other.
Yes.
But in between these gaps, we have weeks to months where it's just us, especially being single and not traveling with a partner.
Yeah.
You're just alone.
It's actually something we talk a lot about on this show. Almost every single episode, the concept of being alone comes up every show. And so...
And it gets to people sometimes.
100%. It got to me this winter. I've been very open about my issues with anxiety and some things that I've been dealing with personally and how that has massively affected me. So, yeah, it's a topic we talk about, at least on this show, a lot. But I'm glad you brought it up because, again... The show is intended for people that are curious about van life or want to get into van life, and they need to know that you're going to be alone. So I think that like you just bringing that up shows and proves that like this is something that people need to be aware of.
Yeah.
You know.
And sometimes on top of being alone, something does happen to the van. And you're like,
your stress level just goes up even more. Yeah, exactly.
Did that just seriously? Like you're on the side of the road with a tire off, like you lose a tire.
Yeah.
I lost a tire.
Okay, so would that fall into the category of your biggest failures?
I think so.
Yeah.
Where you're just feeling like you can't do everything by yourself like you want to. I'm trying to think of like a
Did you legitimately
failure,
lose a tire?
Really close, yeah.
Whoa.
Like an 81-year-old pulled it off.
Whoa.
Like we jacked it up and he was like, oh,
I'm just gonna take it off.
And I was like, oh, fuck. Like I almost just epically lost it.
Yeah.
And he's like 80, 90. He was an older gentleman.
Wow.
Well, and I decided to come and help me. He's like, just the old cowboy walk over to me.
Yeah. Okay. So that falls under the failure category a little bit.
Yeah.
Any other like massive like, oh God, I can't believe that happened? This guy. A very experienced show, yes.
Something that's different than mechanical.
Yeah.
A lot of mechanical stuff happens.
And we'll get to that. Like we talk a lot about it.
Culture shocking yourself.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's gnarly.
Okay.
Like that feels really bad. Like when you go into a situation where you know that it's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I went to LA for the first time. And it was van lifing in LA. And people talk about how it is easy. It has its easy
moments or time. Yeah.
Where you can park anywhere.
Okay.
And nobody cares.
Yeah,
you just have to abide by the street signs.
Yeah, of course.
So that you're not parking when the street cleaners come by.
Yep.
But there are a lot of homeless.
Yeah.
And you hear them all the time.
Yeah.
Like you're nervous
about being in your rig
all the time.
Yep. I feel like that's pretty common with urban parking.
Urban parking is kind of crazy. Oh, there are no toilets.
Can be sketched. Like it can be.
There are no public toilets.
Right, typically. Yeah, you're not at a rest stop. You got to go search them out.
You have to search for a public
Of course. Okay.
Urbanly, so that sucks.
What then would be your biggest triumph while living your life on the road?
It makes me feel really strong and independent. And I've always kind of felt that way.
Okay. So this is just reaffirming that, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's helping me branch out and meet people like I really like to also.
Okay. Would you say growing up you were more of an introvert or an extrovert?
I call myself an introverted extrovert.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Because a lot of people see me as this really big social butterfly, but there are a handful of times where I just hide.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing that most van lifers have in common.
I would agree with that,
But we want to see people, but we're doing this lifestyle to kind of like travel and get out and
be alone.
Be around
tons of other people.
on a regular basis.
Yeah. But also, and again, we speak of it a lot on the show and within the nomadic community, like, if you go to an event like this, we're at a big van meetup, shout out Journal of Lost Time and Josiah Rowe, Weird Wild West, we have 400 rigs here, events every single day, things and places to go and people to hang out with, but like, if you came to this and wanted to sit in your rig the whole weekend, like, nobody would care.
Yeah.
They would be totally fine. and you could come out whenever you wanted and hang out and talk, meet people when you wanted to, on your own time, on like your own, like, you know, whatever you feel, when, and welcome and whatever, but it's not stressful whatsoever.
There are a handful of older folks that just get together and they're in their own little circle, and that's it for the entire event.
Yeah, they don't go out and participate in like the parties or whatever that is going on. That little crew over there, the storytellers, I don't think they've left that little square right there.
They just kind of hang out.
They've just kind of hung out. And I talked to them last night. They were wonderful. They offered me wine and cheese last night. It was great. They were super sweet.
Hey, pretty.
So yeah, no, I like that.
I think I'm going to add on to that a little bit.
Yeah, please.
I have done most of the work on this vehicle by myself.
Okay.
I look back on what it looked like when I bought it.
Wait, hold on.
So
This is True Van Life, right? So Christine, shout out Christine. She's on episode, I don't know what episode she is, but Christine, we're literally in the middle of shooting Life on the Road right now, and you're interrupting us live on speakerphone right now. Like, actually, your voice is being carried into my microphone as we speak, so just so you know.
Great. Are you at your van?
I am at my van. You can come hang out in the van.
I will come find you.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
This is why I love the show, and I don't edit anything. So this is van life.
Oh, works out.
This is what happens. So you're saying you work on your rig yourself, and that causes...
It just feels good.
It feels
It's
good.
the strength. Yeah, this is like the big up.
It's amazing.
Yeah, looking back on where I started to where I am now.
Okay.
You had a big dent behind you when I bought it.
Okay.
And there's no dent.
And there's no dent anymore. Nice
Yeah.
work.
Lots of little stuff, you know.
It's so interesting that you say that because, and we'll touch on this with question 7 when we get to your rig. You obviously owning a Vanagon's an older vehicle, you know, and we talk about it all the time with the stress. Come here, River. The stress of breaking down or parts or failures or all of those things. But yet your perspective is that no, my ability to work on this vehicle and make it my own and me doing the work is empowering. It's amazing. I like that. That perspective has not been told on the show.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Leave it to the Vanagons to like work on their rigs. I love it. Question number 4. Did you start your life on the road as a single person? What is it like living your road on the road as a single person?
I started single, and halfway through, maybe 2 years ago or so,
Yeah.
I lived in it with a partner for a summer, and that was challenging.
Okay.
I learned that you really got to trust someone to let them into your space.
Yeah.
And that if I'm going to be nomadic,
we're having a puppy wrestling fight directly adjacent to us. Just don't knock over the camera, boys. It's amazing.
if I'm going to ever be in a
I'm actually-
relationship again, though,
Yeah, hold on. We're gonna do, I love this episode so far because this is van life right here. So we're gonna do some quick recording so that I can drop this in and everybody can see what's going on right now. It's awesome. They're so good. Okay, so you lived with a partner
yeah.
in your rig for how long?
The summer. So
A summer.
4 to 6 months.
4 to 6 months. Okay. Your van's not big.
No.
Vanagons are small.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can grab them.
Come here.
You're fine. Don't apologize. He's like, no, I want to play. So how was that? Like, talk about that experience.
It was challenging. We traveled a little bit
Okay.
in it,
Like,
but it is more my home.
He was coming into your home.
Yeah.
Okay. It
We
is the way you look
love
at
our
it.
spaces so much. When we are single in our rigs, it becomes our little bubble.
Yeah.
Because the space is so small.
Yeah.
It's different than having an apartment or
Yep.
a house.
Yep. Yeah. I think the ideal, and this is my personal opinion, is the ideal relationship is 2 separate rigs. I don't know.
Or a rig that is bought together and built together.
Bought together and built together, correct. Like, I don't think I could, even as big as Althea is, bring someone into the rig and let them live with me full-time in it.
I don't think I could anymore.
It wasn't
After
designed.
that was,
It wasn't designed for another person in mind. It was
Yeah.
designed for me and my priorities, which, again, selfishly or for whatever reason, that's all I had to think about at the time. Just like you, and so I didn't
and you
think
don't
about
know.
it.
It's important to think of yourself, you know,
No,
take care of yourself.
Of course, but I think that's why, like, for me, and again, this is just my personal opinion, and the ideal relationship is someone else that has another rig, and you can jointly then start to share those spaces together on the road.
And if it becomes a situation where you want to live
Together,
together,
you build out a rig
you
together.
want to travel, you
Yes.
build out a rig together,
Correct.
or whatever.
Yeah, however that works. But building out a
Nobody
rig
gets
together.
to move in my van ever again.
So that summer cemented that for you.
Yeah.
No one's in the rig anymore, full time.
Well,
with you.
when you have a big argument that's pretty bad,
Okay.
and you feel like you can't go home,
Yeah.
And
you're just sitting with that
it's
person.
your home,
Yeah. And you want that person to get
And
the
they're
F
there.
out.
and you're like standing there looking at your rig, and you know that they're in there, and you're like, why can't I go to my house? This is so shitty.
I get it. So, okay, beyond that,
Yeah.
what has been living on the road as a single person like?
Everyone is scared for you. As a woman.
As a female solo
They're
traveler.
like, do you have a gun? Do you have pepper spray? Do
Yeah,
you,
taser, whatever, bat, whatever. I've
are
heard
you
of so many.
scared?
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't be doing that. Why don't you just buy a house? Why don't you just get a real life? Like,
Yeah.
It's frustrating. In a
That
weird way. When they call you homeless at the post office,
that perspective is frustrating.
that's annoying.
Yeah.
Do you get homeless?
No. But
I don't
but
know
it's
why.
but it's the rig I live in as well. That's why. Because to be honest, I love this rig. I love the VWs. I am a hippie. I am a Grateful Dead fan. This is my ideal rig, to be honest. Yeah, so I appreciate this more than you know. But
Glad.
I don't get that perspective from, let's call them the carpet walkers, shout out Blakely, of the world, the normies. I don't get that
Normies.
perspective.
The house dwellers.
The house dwellers, because I live in that thing. That's why. But I understand, I get what you're saying.
I only got it once, and it was enough to like shake me up a little bit. I
Yeah.
think that VWs are seen as a side piece, like not something that people really live in.
Correct. Yeah.
So I think I get away with a lot of stealth stuff because people don't really
They don't think about it.
believe that someone's
Yeah.
actually going to live in a Volkswagen.
That's true. That's true.
Most
But
of
when
the time.
when they find out, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
you're homeless, or
Yeah.
struggling, or whatever."
And they ask you, like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you doing well? And this was a choice.
Yeah.
This wasn't,
This is what I want.
yeah.
I love
This is what I would
this.
like to do.
Yes.
And yes, I do struggle.
Well, we all struggle.
But it's just different.
Yeah, of course. But it's a struggle that you're, again, this was a choice. This was a conscious choice. And you're happy.
Yeah.
Talk about a little bit, and you touched on it, and I'm curious to get your perspective on the solo female travel. We've had a lot of solo female travelers on the show. Obviously you get those thoughts and questions. Are you okay? Do you have weapons? Are you safe? What has been your experience kind of along those lines? Yeah, talk about that for a second.
I think it's like luck, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe that's the wrong word. But the people that have had serious issues with negative people
Right.
being involved with their rigs
Yeah.
or them personally because they're on the road, that is the other person that's affecting them, not them.
Right.
And it is like a 1 in a million chance that you're going to get that one guy
Yeah.
that breaks into your rig.
Yeah. Well, and
You know?
have you had moments where you felt unsafe?
Yes and no. Like there was a guy in LA that talked to me a lot. I think he was homeless.
Okay.
And he hung out by the van for a while, and I felt like I couldn't go to my van, so I had to take
Okay.
like a huge walk around until I knew that he wasn't around anymore.
Okay. I could
But
start
the
to see
locals
that to
knew
feel.
him.
Okay.
And they said that he wasn't a big threat. He's just friendly.
Mm-hmm.
But he did hang out in the park later than what I had hoped. And
Okay.
I don't usually like
Did
people
you-
seeing me go in and out on a
yes.
regular basis.
That makes sense, and that's a great
Yeah.
rule of thumb. Again,
I
like
think it is too.
we talk about.
Like, make sure you get out of your van looking like you're put together instead of looking like you clearly just crawled out
just
of
walk,
bed,
yeah,
you know?
just woke up, and yeah, exactly. So,
And then once you're in for the night, you're in for the night
Right.
instead of going in and out, in and out, in and out.
Yep.
Especially when you're trying to be
excuse me.
stealth.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Have you had a situation to where you felt, again, not concerned enough to where you said, okay, I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go find another spot.
Not
No?
yet.
Okay.
I think that trusting that first initial this
Gut
isn't,
instinct?
yeah, like I think if you really trust your gut,
Yeah,
when you pull up to a spot,
you'll know.
you know. And I have had those where I'm like,
That's what
I
I'm
need
asking.
to stop now, but I didn't stop and
Because
then
you
have to
didn't
get up
feel
and
good.
leave.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I see
Does
what
that
you're
make
saying.
sense?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
perfectly.
how I felt.
Yeah.
Like you meant, because there are
Yep.
people that'll park.
No. But
and I
have you
that,
have
like,
you rolled into a spot and go, oh yeah, this does not feel good. I'm gonna keep
yeah,
going.
I'm like, yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm on the road for another hour and a half.
Trying to find another
fucking
spot.
parking spot.
And
it's
again,
at like
this.
10 o'clock at night.
Yep, this is something that, like, again, people in the community or being introduced to van life should be aware of. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
could potentially be searching for a camp spot.
And then you end up at a Walmart because it's the only thing that's close enough, and you're exhausted because you've been driving for 8 hours.
And you just want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Or, loves gas stations or,
Yeah.
whatever. Any type of, like, safe parking area on an urban highway, ultimately a rest
Handful
stop.
of rest areas are really nice.
Yep, I love
Yeah.
the rest areas are good.
Rest areas are good.
Yeah, rest areas are great.
And
So-
sometimes they're by trees, like they have trees,
Uh-huh.
and there's a bathroom.
and there's grass.
And grass,
yeah,
and they have a
it's park,
dog, so
yeah.
that's nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense.
These
yeah,
guys
boys.
are great.
Question number 5. What is the best place or craziest place you've had sex during life on the road?
So,
It wasn't as good as the initial response you gave me.
yeah, I'm just remembering you asking.
You're
like,
measuring, yeah.
Right.
Right, that question.
Most exciting, I
Best
guess,
place
is,
or
like,
craziest place?
I don't know. I feel like I don't much in my van because it moves a lot, dude. You wiggle around. It's like suspension. You're like,
You're
if
not-
you're trying to be stealthy, it's not.
You're not the first person to bring up
100%
sex in a
not
van and
stealthy, and
suspension
you're like,
issues.
Oh,
I mean, it's the same thing in Althea.
it's the same in
Every
everything
rig.
with wheels.
Yes, exactly. Like
you see a van.
the van is
wiggling
going
around.
to
What
be
the heck do you
swaying
think
side
is-
by side. Exactly.
What do you think's going on?
But best
Mexico.
place, Mexico,
Mexico?
on a beach.
No.
No, just in Mexico.
Yeah, we went skinny dipping.
Oh yeah,
And then went back to the van.
there we go.
Yeah, it was fun.
I mean, Mexico's a beautiful place.
Mexico's beautiful.
Yeah, of course. I have not taken Althea to Mexico. I don't know if I will. I mean, I will, but maybe not in the summer or the winter.
Winter is the best.
I
Summer's
know-
too hot.
I know. I
It's
will.
really hot.
I will suffer and go in the
I
spring
think
or
that
fall
the
at
surf
some
is
point.
better.
Yeah, that's what I've heard as well. I just don't want to
And
give
then
up.
the cactuses are blooming.
I just don't want to give up ski opportunities.
We talked about that the other day.
We did. So, okay. So, best place, Mexico.
Yeah.
Nowhere in the mountains. You've put this
Forest
thing in the
place.
mountains.
Oh, fuck yeah. Don't ever underestimate the power of the driver of a Volkswagen Vanagon. Two-wheel drive Vanagon.
In the mountains. Yeah.
Yeah, anywhere.
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 I love it.
They go further than what people think.
Exactly. There's a clip recently I saw on Instagram of a Vanagon hardcore up a 4x4 road. Like off camber, like literally like it was pretty
Was
badass.
it a Synchro Vanagon?
I don't know what it was, but it was pretty like ballsy
Volkswagen?
send. Yeah, it was definitely a Vanagon.
It
yeah.
looked like mine.
Similar, yes.
Yeah.
Similar to yours.
But
It wasn't-
Synchros go out all the time.
It wasn't like super high lifted either, but like it was just going. It was awesome. It was cool.
And mine has the original 14.
We'll get there. We'll get
Rims.
there. We got a question
But
coming up.
it's
We're going to talk
still-
all about your rig.
It still goes.
Your rig's amazing. Speak of the devil
Like, what were
that came to interrupt our show. You can hang out in Althea.
I was just gonna stand back here and dance.
You could do that as well and entertain us.
You like that?
Thank you. Christine, everyone. Yes. Episode, I don't know, what number is your episode? Okay. It is my show, I should know. I think it's 18. Question number 6, how do you make money while living your life on the road?
I don't sometimes, and that can be really difficult. I almost stranded myself in Mexico. Don't do that.
I'm so glad you said this. Like, I think it's such an
Because-
honest answer. Like, sometimes you don't make money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make art and I get $30 here, and then I'm like, sweet, gas money.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm working with the Journal of Lost Time
Yep.
with Josiah right now.
Yep.
I worked for this event, and that was amazing, and I would like to continue doing
Do
that.
more of that?
Yeah,
Okay. Very cool.
because it was really cool.
Yeah.
I liked meeting. I think it encouraged me to meet more people
Okay.
because I was coordinating and making sure everyone was parked well, and it was really fun.
Nice. So that is right now kind of your jam. Where
Yeah,
you're kind of
so maybe
leaning
I'm
into.
gonna move forward with that. In the past, like I said, I was an instructor, snowboard and ski instructor for 5 years
Where did you do this at?
at my home mountain for 2 seasons,
Which is?
snowy range ski area
Okay.
in Wyoming.
Shout out.
Yes and no.
Yeah.
If you don't tag them, that's okay.
I'm not
'cause
going to tag them. No, I won't tag them. But I
The
just
owners are kind of mean.
no. But I like shouting out any ski resorts. So.
It's a great mountain. I love it because it's my home mountain.
Yeah, it's super small, super local.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
I just
Okay,
got
so you
thrown under
did
the
ski and
bus.
snowboard instruction, and
there, and then Vail, and then Steamboat.
okay, cool. Yeah, I knew
Vail,
Vail
10 out of
Steamboat.
10. Recommend like working there because they teach you a lot.
Okay.
When they're.
Hey, for
But that
the
did
ski.
really good for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You enjoyed that?
I might go back to it a little bit.
Okay. And
But it's a whole bunch of odd jobs from that to. I was a garden girl for a season. I worked at a skate shop for a season. I was a skateboard instructor for part of that same season.
Okay.
I did pastry sales
Okay.
at a farmer's market.
okay, so kind of a
Yeah.
lot of kind of gig work, odd jobs work, just along the way,
Yeah.
which is fairly common in this community, where people honestly are doing anything and everything that they can to keep them on the road at the end of the day. And it's really more about like the love for this lifestyle and the love for this, being on the road, that they can just do kind of small odd jobs here and there and be perfectly content and happy. Do you struggle with that?
Yes and no. But
Okay.
there are days where you're driving and you're just having such a good day driving. You're like, nice.
Yeah.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
And you park in a beautiful spot and you're like, wow, this is so dope.
Yeah.
This is my yard for the day.
Yeah. This is my home for the day. This is my
Yeah,
$1 million
or for the
view for the
week,
day,
or
for the week or whatever.
Wherever you're going.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's why we do it.
Constantly on vacation.
Yeah.
Pretty close.
Pretty
anyways.
close. It's a great reference.
close.
Yeah, I mean, I feel extremely fortunate to live how I live, and I think we can both say that.
Yeah, I believe I do.
Yeah. Question number 7, the one you've been trying to answer for like 7 questions now.
Whatever.
What is your rig? Who built it? And why did you choose it to live your life on the road? You Vanagons are just such passionate people about your rigs. I love
Yeah.
it. And I say you Vanagons as like you guys are a pretty.
Vanagon owners.
They're diehard group. Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
pretty
And I.
passionate.
You're passionate as well, for sure, but like the love of your vehicles, I think, is the deepest in the nomadic community.
Through talking to a lot of nomads, we all have it. More than you want to admit.
Yes. Oh, I love my Mercedes Sprinter, and I will shout them out to the nth degree. Now, we get shit on all the time, but that's okay. One less Sprinter. I see them on every Vanagon I could find.
Well, not really.
Do you don't know that bumper sticker?
No.
Oh, come on.
I'm not going to be that
It's the
cold.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's actually one of my favorite bumper stickers.
Really?
Yeah, to see on a VW, one less Sprinter. I think it's hilarious. It makes me laugh every time I see it.
Well, it is one less Sprinter.
It is. It's a beautiful
That's
rig
one less
too.
thing.
It's a wonderful rig. So talk about what your rig is.
Okay, so it's a 1990 Volkswagen Vanagon.
Okay.
It is the Carrot model, however you want to say
It's
it.
K.
It's a C.
Is it a C? I thought it was a K. Interesting. I know
It originally
very little.
had these crazy fiberglass plastic bumper things that went around the outside. Trash that. They're so ugly.
Okay.
I've fixed multiple rust spots. My grandfather's a welder.
Nice.
Repainted it.
Okay.
It has an engine rebuild. It has two technically because they hooked up my power steering pump and the power steering pump is seized. We found out, so
Okay.
it blew my engine.
Okay.
Just shows how small it is.
Yeah. Do you
But,
know the size of the engine? What it is?
It is four speed. I always forget.
Okay.
And it's a manual.
Okay. It is a manual. That's
I learned
amazing.
how to drive a manual
I actually heard you pull in earlier.
after I bought it.
You had never driven a manual after you bought this, and this is how you learned.
Like a little bit.
Okay.
But I
That's impressive.
learned making circles in a Jackson Hole parking lot.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was something else. And I had to drive it all the way home.
After you made the purchase.
It took me forever.
I love it. I do remember like you pulling into the lot, and I was like, I think she's sitting on her clutch. Like that's a manual. Well, like you were like just like
Oh.
pedaling, and I was like, I heard the noise, and I was like, oh, that's manual, and I was like, oh, that's amazing. I love that.
I like it. I think it's really fun to drive.
Hell yeah, it's super fun to
It's-
drive. I love.
Steering wheel is bigger than the average steering wheel, and it's more in your lap.
Yep, it's tilted
Yeah,
at
it's
an
like
angle.
more
It's
flat.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're in like a bus, though,
Yeah.
they're like really big
Yeah.
and really flat. It's like
yeah.
it's so
It's
weird.
weird. Yeah.
It's fun.
Mine's
Mine's not quite like that.
My old Defender is like that. It's tilted. It's got a big steering wheel, and it's kind of flat like that. Yeah, I love it.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's super fun.
I think like what else we need to know.
Yeah,
What else do you wanna
it's a
know?
pop top.
Didn't used to be though.
Okay, so that
It
was
was-
new, or you added that.
Originally, it was just a plain tin top. And
Okay.
for people that know VW, they know what I'm talking about. It's just a plain
tin top.
just tin top.
Yep.
Aftermarket skylight. I bought it with the skylight
Okay.
in it.
Okay.
So I couldn't put the luggage rack on it. It has two like silver bars on the top.
Okay.
And I really like that because I can climb up there easier
Okay.
with that.
Okay.
The aftermarket pop top broke. It never stayed latched. It opened multiple times while I was driving.
Okay.
So I needed to replace it. Like it was no brainer.
Yeah, yeah.
I want
Time
a
to go.
Westphalia top on it.
Okay.
Really bad.
Okay.
So I put the top on, modified it a little bit because the luggage rack and the top go together.
Okay.
And I had to take like part of the luggage rack and fiberglass it on the front of the top.
Okay.
So there wasn't a gap,
Okay,
so
so
there
they
wasn't
fit. Yeah.
water getting in.
Makes sense.
So there's like a little bit of a modification.
River, come here.
That was
Come here.
hard.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Like the mics won't pick it up. They can play. They can keep playing. No, not at all. It's totally fine.
That's good. I put it on with my 72-year-old friend. He was 72 at the time.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure he's more like 75.
It's amazing.
No.
Okay. So pop top edition upgrade, I should say upgrade. What else has been besides like the little things, dents and rust and
I
things like
repainted
that?
it myself.
Okay. So went with the kind of the teal
Yeah, I mixed it. It's tractor paint.
tractor paint. Well done.
Yeah, tractor paint.
Okay.
If I could do it again, I would do it a little bit different, but I really don't want to because it was really hard.
I imagine it was not easy for sure.
Yeah.
What else has been worked on? Or do you want to mention anything else?
Tore out everything.
Okay. It's kind of started from scratch on the inside.
Everything. And if you want to see everything from scratch, it is on the Instagram that I can't get into right now, but it is still look atable. It's Sky_the_Vanagon.
Okay. We'll drop that.
Instagram.
We'll drop that on there.
And
Okay.
it shows like the van completely gutted,
Nice.
nothing.
We'll
in it,
drop
like bare metal.
We'll drop a lot of photos of that then.
I
In
put,
that.
new carpet, new insulation.
Okay. But you did all this
I
yourself?
redid the panels
Yeah.
with wood and stained them. Yeah, all myself.
Amazing. I love it.
It's hard.
Well, but it's,
Talking
again,
about doing it multiple times in a row because you fuck up.
well, I think that needs
sucks.
to be talked about a little bit, in a sense that, like, if you're going to do your own build, you're going to learn along the way, and you're going to screw up a lot. And then you're going to be like, fuck, I should have done it differently.
It's extremely frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I didn't build out my van.
I wanted help, but it just never worked out that way.
Okay, that's fair. All right. Question number 8. Your best bathroom, number 1 or number 2 story
Like,
from Life on the
Good
Road.
bathroom?
Doesn't
Like
matter.
a nice bathroom?
No. Or
Like-
horrific stories of your bathroom issues. Do you
I don't
no
have-
toilet in the rig?
Yeah, I don't have a bathroom.
Yeah. So you're
So finding
you're a
bathroom
shovel
is
in nature.
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the way it should be.
And some people hate it. And some
No.
people like whatever.
I mean,
And in certain situations, obviously, there's a poop in a bag.
mhm.
And it's like the most unglamorous thing on the planet talking about pooping in a bag.
But
But I
everybody's
had
done
to
it.
a lot in LA.
Okay, because you just didn't want to get out of the rig or find a
There
bathroom.
weren't bathrooms.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Anywhere. Like you go to a park, there aren't just public bathrooms at parks
Yeah.
in big cities. And I'm convinced it's because they're trying to deter
They are
homeless.
100%. 100%.
So you're
Has
like,
nothing
well,
to do
I'm just
with
gonna
people
poop
visiting.
in a bag and then throw it in the trash
Has-
can at the park.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's okay. Any desire to put a toilet in the rig?
I would like to figure something out, but I'm not sure how because there's zero space.
Space. Yeah, and honestly, like other Vanagons that I've met or know have the cassettes in them because they're the smallest.
But where do they put them?
Yeah.
I don't have anywhere to put it.
It's just small. Yeah, it's just too tight. Yeah.
It's way too small. I don't understand where
I
they
don't know.
tuck it.
I don't know.
Do they just have it sitting out?
It might be. I'm not sure.
I've seen some where they build like a cute little box around it and it's a chair
Yeah.
that sits in there.
Yes.
But I value my space too much for that.
And that's fair. And I think theirs was far more, let's call it, filled on the interior, meaning like the whole interior was like a chair or a bench or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I think that was the option that they had created. Yeah. And made basically a place for the toilet. Yeah. So makes sense. But no like horror stories along the road of pee on the floor, pee jugs on the floor.
Oh no. That always happens.
Of course.
Nobody talks about it.
Well, no, we always talk about it on the show.
Ugh.
This question
Like
is
you
specifically.
like it.
Well, no.
You like talking about it.
I feel like it's a rite of passage. Like you're not a true van lifer until you've had pee on your floor.
There are girls that say that wide-mouthed Nalgene's are the best. I just don't believe it. I don't like it. For a long time, I had an old coffee
The
jar, like one
person
of those
that's
vintage
in Althea
glass.
right now used to say that. The wide mouth
Oh,
Nalgene. Yeah.
It's hard. And they're really short, so you have to like squat weird. And if you get tired because it's a long pee, so you think you can balance on it, and then you tip it over, and it's all over.
And then you dump everywhere on your floor. Yeah. Welcome to van life.
Might as well just pee it on the floor. Great.
it'd been
There
more-
goes my paper towel stash.
It would have been more efficient.
Like, God damn it.
I love it.
In certain small towns, late night, you can just pee outside.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's fine. That's normal.
Yeah. In
But-
the big city, not so much.
Yeah,
It's kind of wild.
I
But
can imagine.
back home, it's not a huge thing. Like in small towns,
Yeah.
it's just not. Like people are sleeping.
Of course.
Like the majority of the population are
I'm-
people that want to go to bed on time.
I'm
so
still laughing at the wide mouth Nalgene dumping on the floor. It's amazing.
it's horrible.
It is horrible. But again, we say
Or
it all
you
the
know,
time.
someone sees your pee situation and they ask if it's tea. They had that before.
Yep, that's
They were
common.
like, "Oh, what are you brewing?" And you're like,
I'm not brewing anything.
"No."
That was
Nope, that
after
was
a
last
night of drinking.
Yeah, so let's not talk about it.
Oh, I love it. Question number 9. What has been the happiest and hardest moments while living your life on the road?
We touched a little bit on it. Like, you can easily get depressed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And leaving your van families after these events
Yeah.
is so sad.
So hard, right?
all the time.
That has been brought up as a very hard thing to do, is to say goodbye to friends.
And sometimes you follow, which is also awesome.
Yeah, it's
you
wonderful.
Just caravan a little bit further for a couple weeks.
Well,
really.
it happens too, where like, and we talk about it all the time on the show, in a sense that like, you need to be flexible in this community. So you get to an event like this, and you know there's 400 rigs here. All of them are our friends in some form or another. And you hear about, oh, this group of people are going to go here, but I had plans to go here. And you're like, oh, but I'd rather go with them. That sounds way cooler, you know. And you
Yeah.
just go.
I was up at center camp because I was invited to be at center camp, but all my friends are here.
Yeah, we're at the bottom half. And,
Yeah, darn it.
You
But it's
should have
okay.
parked
I
here.
still partied
I
down here
know.
anyways.
You did, and it was
Yeah.
amazing. But
It was
like
fun.
to your point, you know, I think the idea that you brought up originally of like being alone is hard.
Yeah,
It's super hard.
but I had another one that was a little bit different. No, I forgot.
What's the happiest then? The hardest will come back to
I
you.
think the happiest has got to be when you are able to go to all these beautiful places and
Yeah.
you meet these amazing people, and when you have a dog, you see them living their best life ever, letting your dog run out on a beach. And
Yeah.
they're just like the happiest ever. And when you do live on a beach, that's there every single day.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it's wonderful,
I
right?
worked as a camp host
Okay,
outside of Lander.
okay.
There's a whole bunch of
I
mountain
love
biking
Lander.
out there.
Yeah, Lander,
So I
Wyoming's
mountain biked
amazing.
with River on a regular basis.
Amazing.
And sometimes you can't, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that makes perfect sense as to why that would be your happiest moment. Oh, so good, buddy.
He's just laying
He's
down.
tired.
Yeah. He's had a good day. He's
Yeah.
just hung out.
Yeah, he's been amazing.
Here in Bisbee, you can bring your dogs in everywhere.
Yeah, dogs are super welcome
Like
in this town.
extremely. They bring
Yeah.
you water.
Yeah, at every restaurant we've
Every
been to,
restaurant.
they've all
It's
asked,
amazing.
"Would you like a little dog bowl for
Yeah.
for the dog?" Yeah, it's awesome. So those are your happiest. No other hardest, besides.
I know that there was something.
What about? Let's talk about breaking down in the rig,
Oh,
or
breaking
like
down so
issues with the
fast.
rig. Because it gets talked about a lot. Older vehicles.
I've got a weird sound right now, and I don't know when I'm going to be able to get it fixed.
Okay.
Because I'm hitting a point where I only have $400 to my name, so that doesn't give me enough money
Yeah. To go.
to get where I need to go
And fix it at the same time.
So if something happens, if this noise ends up being serious, I'm screwed.
Yeah. Okay. Can appreciate
So-
that. So
So
that.
that's on the back of your mind, and you push it back
Yeah, that's stressful.
like a handful, and then you drive and you hear the noise again, and you go,
Oh shit. Here we go. Yeah. So.
I like to think that I've done a lot of preventative maintenance.
Yeah. It's necessary
But
on an old rig.
You can't help.
You can't
what
get it all of
comes
it.
up,
Yeah, of course.
Oh, in La Paz, I broke down in La Paz in Mexico. That was insane. Like
Yeah.
I was at
We-
a quickie. I don't want to say quickie mart. Just
Yeah,
'cause
but you have a
a
gas station.
gas station.
Yeah, Walmart or like a little
There's a
convenience
corner
store.
store,
Convenience store.
right?
Yeah.
And I hear this like, wee, 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 wee. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And I look in my rear view and I see that it looks like I'm smoking.
Okay.
So I like turn it off. I'm like, shit, that's me.
Yeah.
And I run back and I open my little Volkswagens have like a little hole. I
Okay.
guess it's behind the license plate. That's where you check your oil and fill your coolant and fill your oil, so
Okay.
you don't have to open up the back
Sure.
to do it.
Okay.
They like opened it and it's just whoa, and I was like,
Pouring out.
crap. And
Oh,
there's
no.
coolant all over the ground, like
Okay.
spewing.
Okay.
It's like, what could this be? Like,
Yeah.
what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
But there's no way. And then there's this. Oops,
What-
I touched it.
Well, you're good. You're
Oh.
fine. It won't make any noise. What?
Yeah.
So what was the solution, or what ended up happening? Did you find a shop?
My coolant reservoir. Fuck, I'm trying to think like the best way to describe it. I think that my sensor in my coolant reservoir was bumping the bay,
Okay.
and
so,
the seal was already not as good as what it should.
Okay.
So it let air into the coolant
Yeah.
system,
Into that
and it
reservoir,
overheated it, and it warped the coolant reservoir.
Okay.
So my reservoir was fucked.
Yeah. Okay.
Like the yeah.
Did you have the whole thing replaced in Mexico? or
The
changed?
reservoir.
The
It's just the
reservoir
reservoir.
was replaced.
And it's an old reservoir.
Yeah.
That we had to clean out on the side of the road. Like rinse out a whole bunch of crap.
Yeah.
I boiled water to get out as much as I could. And
Okay.
now it's run better than ever.
Well, there you go.
I've always had issues with the sensor.
Okay.
Always. And I think it's because the seal wasn't right.
Okay. Well, again,
And now I have zero problems with it.
that's, a really hard story and something that, again, we talk about all the time on this show. If you have an old rig, you're going to have issues. Actually, if you're going to have any rig, you're going to have issues. I broke down an Althea. Now, Althea is a brand new vehicle. It shouldn't have happened. It was a part failure.
Part failure.
Yeah, but it caused basically a massive failure in the rig. But you have an old vehicle, and you're going to break down. It's going to happen. So be prepared for that,
the
right?
overheating on a pass.
Yeah,
I'm really happy I was close enough
that makes sense.
that it was okay, but my buddy did come with only a 10-foot tow strap to tow me back into town, and that was,
That's sketch.
I think that's technically illegal.
Yeah, probably, but
We got epically honked at a lot.
that's okay.
It was like 10 miles out of town, and we're
Yeah.
right
Nice.
here.
I like
know?
it. What, question number 10, our last question. Define hashtag Vanlife in your own words.
This one.
I know you
earlier.
like this one.
That
And
was
then
kinda fun.
provide a piece of advice for someone wanting to live a life on the road. So let's talk about hashtag
So
Vanlife.
hashtag van life, you see the perfect hashtag van life, and that is what gets the views and gets the attention. So that's what you see a lot.
Yeah.
Are the beautiful views and the beautiful dogs and this perfect build outs.
Yes.
But there's also a side of hashtag van life that some people do get, and it somehow manages to make it out, that the builds aren't always as perfect as what they see.
100%.
Like you hit bumps and like your wall kind of comes off. And people
100%.
don't talk about.
No,
like
of
the
course.
seam's not lining up just right.
Well,
Or-
it's at the end of the day, the question's super tongue-in-cheek, but it's also so that like people understand that's not how our lives are. At the end of the day,
No.
that shiny object.
We have it though. We do have that pretty side.
Correct.
And
That
that's where-
shiny object in Instagram exists.
It does.
We go to those places,
Yep.
but that's not our day-to-day life. Now, we get to those places a lot, and we take those pretty pictures, and we hang out in those pretty environments, but it's not our day-to-day life. At the end of the day.
Day to day, sometimes you're just sitting in the van and it's like really hot and you have
Yeah.
your door open and
It sucks.
that's all you do is just sit there.
It's true. Again, like it's
nothing.
Instagram's a glorified version of how our daily lives actually
But there
are.
are people that have showed that not
The not
not
so pretty
perfect,
side.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
awesome.
very few though. Very few and far between. It doesn't happen a
wish
lot.
that it was more.
I do too. I honestly do. That's
Yeah,
honestly.
there are van lifers out there that glorify
Oh,
breaking down even.
yeah, for sure.
I saw one the other day and I was like, what? Interesting.
Mm-hmm. No, I
wow,
think
you're smiling about, anyways.
I think it's being shown more, like the real side of it, but not nearly like what it actually really is
Mm-hmm.
like day to day, or like what your lives are like day to day. And it's kind of
Oh, I remembered.
why I started the show, was to kind of expand on like what you deal with, or like why you've made the choices that you've made, and those types of things. So yeah.
Something that we talked about earlier the last few days was our routines that we want.
Yeah.
One of the big challenges within van life, I'm going to go back to that question because that's what I
Yeah, please.
was like, man, I forgot. But keeping a good daily routine, whether it's a good night routine, full day routine,
Yeah.
any of it, it can be really hard depending on
Hi guys.
where you are and who you're with.
Tori, you're fine. We're gonna shout out Tori, who just waved at us and interrupted the show, but it's okay. We've had like 5 interruptions in the show. Now she's taking pictures as she should. She's amazing. Yes. Oh, then stand there and take one. Come on. We don't have to like go anywhere. We've had like 5 interruptions in the show today. It's amazing. Yes, you're the best. Exactly. Thank you. No, so I think what you're saying is important though. The building of a routine and having some type of not set schedule, but something that you can follow on a
Yeah.
consistent basis as you travel. Our lives are so sporadic They change so often. They change so quickly. That was hilarious.
It's cute.
It was funny. I just didn't want him to drool on the lens. All of those things change so fast, and they change quickly. And so having consistent routine and having consistency in your daily life really does help. Makes perfect sense.
I've been trying to find the best one because when you're stationary, you can have a little bit of a better one.
Sure. That's true.
When I was a camp host, I did my yoga routine, my 30-minute, just morning.
Every day.
Every single day
Yeah, of
before I
course.
went to work. Because
Yeah.
I was working not only as the camp host, but I was working at the bar downtown.
But that's so much harder when you're traveling.
But when
like
you're
to get up.
physically moving.
Yeah, to get up and
when
do
you're
your yoga
taking that-
routine and all that, it's really hard.
Tried in LA, and people really like talking to you.
I'm right now obviously big into meditation, and
Yes,
doing
yeah.
meditation every day in the van is a challenge. It's hard. I get it.
Yeah.
Offer a piece of advice for somebody wanting to live a life on the road.
No matter what rig you can choose, or do choose, like what size, shape, whatever,
Yeah.
you have to understand that you're going to have your own challenges that are way different from any other challenges.
Correct.
But they're similar enough that you're not alone.
Correct. Somebody's
So
going to
it's
be there
really
to
good
help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the damn
community.
pee thing. Everybody knows the pee thing, so everybody
course.
can laugh about it.
Of course, absolutely. Like we joke in this community about it. Like it's a running joke all the time. Yeah, it's fine.
But some people have the cassettes that overflow.
Yeah, of course. I've
Ugh.
overflowed the
Ugh.
composting toilet. Like,
Bummer.
yeah, it sucks. It's never
Yeah.
a fun thing. Or like you're going to like, you don't realize how full it is, and yeah, you dump. You're taking it out and you dump it on the floor. Yeah, it happens all the time.
Yep.
Sadly.
Yep.
But there are people that understand your situations, is what you're saying. Like people in this community get
Yeah.
what's going on. So you're not going to be alone.
Yeah, and house challenges,
Okay.
house stressors
Yeah.
are not easier or harder than van life stressors or nomadic stressors.
Stressors, yeah.
It's just different.
Yeah. I would agree with that
So
completely.
you just have to take it differently
Yeah, but
and understand that it's different.
I actually think it's
There's a big learning curve
it's not
there.
easier. Easier is the wrong word.
Yeah,
I think it's
that's what I'm
more
saying, it's not.
fun.
Can be because our
If it-
brains aren't used to that.
I just don't think it's as stressful. Or it can be as stressful,
Yeah.
but I think it's something that like you
Lasts
just
a
know you know you're going to get through it. Whereas I feel like if you're living in a city, I don't know, the stresses of a city, the stresses of maybe a job, the stresses of all the things around you in one location, I don't know, become overwhelming. And I don't necessarily, minus maybe being alone a lot in the rig, there aren't many times that I feel so overwhelmed that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Where I, like, there's always somebody else out there that will help me if I'm in that moment of need. And I think that's what is the beauty of our nomadic community is like. And you can, and you have community in your own towns. Like, I don't want to
Yeah.
dispel community and say our community's better. It's not about that.
It's just different.
But it's just different. It's completely different. So, but what's ultimately your piece of advice?
I keep trying to like pinpoint something. I'm just like spewing out
I
random
know.
things.
I know. I'm trying to hone you in here.
There's like a lot of weird things that I could say about it. Stay strong, don't give up.
I think it's great. I think it's a great piece of advice. Like, more often than not, the piece
Don't
of
overthink.
that's a good one as well. More often than
overthink
not, the
everything.
piece of advice that is given on the show is just to
Be
start.
safe. Don't be stupid.
Ah, there we go. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
Don't be dumb.
There are a
Trust
lot
your
of people-
instincts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trusting your instincts is huge.
As a solo female traveler,
Yeah.
if you're in a sketchy situation, you have a vehicle with 4 wheels. Leave. Go somewhere else.
Or you can always leave.
Yes, 100%. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm like. That's kind of my point. Is like, don't
I
hang
run by
around
a
there.
whole bunch of rules that a handful of people do or don't. Like if you pull into a space, make sure you're always facing out so it's easier to get
Get
out
out.
in case
Correct.
of
Yep. You get
an
to your
issue.
front. You get to the wheel, and get out fast.
Yeah, if you need to. It's
Huh?
better when you're able to
Face out. Yep.
And if you're parking kind of stealth, I don't think it's wise to set up camp in any way.
Yeah, have the ability to move quickly if you need to.
Move quickly.
Yeah.
Or if someone goes, hey, you can't park here.
You're
like
gone.
You're clearly camping.
Yeah. That makes sense.
You know.
Yeah, I get it.
I like to be very easily moved.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. I love that as a piece of advice because again, you know, more often than not, the piece of advice is just a start. Well, okay, now you've started van life. Let's talk about like some things that you need to know when you're on the road. And I think those are perfectly not overthinking things. That's another great one. You know, just trust what you're going through, and know that it's okay, no matter what you're doing. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink you have to have the perfect rig. Don't overthink that you have to have the perfect build. Just come out. Just bring whatever you can. Like, bring this beautiful rig. Does she have a name? Sky. Oh, that's appropriate.
The ultimate blue GNU.
Blue GNU. I love it.
The Jeep was the GNU.
Okay.
It was named by a friend of mine, and we had a joke about me getting a blue Volkswagen someday, and it was going to be the ultimate blue GNU. I've never had a car that's not blue.
Okay. So that's why it got painted the way it got painted.
It was blue, and I bought it.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
You just went this route. I like it.
Yeah,
You just had to repaint
I gotta
it.
keep it kind of bluish.
Okay. I like it. I mean, I love the color for sure.
I was gonna go back to like the be safe thing. Like, don't be.
Yeah.
I don't want to say stupid, but it sounds mean almost.
No.
Just try to be as smart.
But it's not even
just
about.
Don't get yourself in a bad situation.
It's not even necessarily about smart or stupid. It's more about just being. It's okay. It's more about common sense.
Yeah,
like,
there you go. That's
like
a great way to put it.
thinking logically, right? Logically, is this a good spot for me to camp? Logically, is this a good safe spot for me to be? And if it's not, don't hesitate to get in your front seat and drive away.
Understand your surroundings.
Yeah, 100%. Like, and then
know
again,
that you're in a big city. If you're in a big city,
Yeah.
or that way, like when you're in a big city, don't be extremely obvious as to what you're doing. Even if they don't care, it can still draw potential negative attention.
Of course. But I mean, again, the flip side of that is where are we sitting right now? We're in
everywhere.
Yeah, we're in a parking lot of amongst 400 rigs in Bisbee, Arizona, and have had the weekend of our lives, and it's been a blast. And there's no stresses here. Like, everybody understands our situations. Everybody understands. Nice. We're all in the same boat. So you have those moments of like, oh, this is as comfortable as it's going to get. But then there's other places as you're traveling and you're alone, you're like, this doesn't feel right. I'm leaving, you know, and don't hesitate to go. That's all. I get it completely.
Sometimes you have to drive further than what you want.
Yeah, of course. There's always those trade-offs, but at the same time, the safety
is nice, but sometimes
they're
when you
not
get
correct.
to the spot, you go,
this is terrible.
maybe this should not be on iOverlander.
Yes, or the reviews are incorrect on this location.
Yeah. It's when you have the iOverlander, you're able to say that though, which is really cool, and it keeps the app
community
updated.
On par. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're referencing obviously an app that a lot of people in the nomadic community use to find parking spaces and
water
and
dog parks and
everything. Yeah,
Lots of stuff.
It's a very useful app. Well, those are your 10 questions.
I suppose so.
Yeah, super easy, right? Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We are going to go, well, I have to go.
There's the movie.
To the festival, the movie festival. I need to go shoot it. Actually, I probably should be shooting it right now.
Oops, yeah, it's 7.
It's 7. We need to go. So we're going to get out of here. Please like and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you. Bye. I just like the front of the rig, you know?
That's so fun. Yeah, like bugs and spider webs and.
Say something real quick. Just talk. Just say anything.
River.
Okay.
I don't know where River is.
It's okay.
I want him though. I hear you. Come here.
Good. Do you want a cocktail? Do you want a drink?
Sure.
I mean, do you want me to get? I don't know. I have like very little left. I can get some wine.
Sure.
Do you want some wine?
Yeah.
We'll open a bottle on the show.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
I'm gonna open this as we start the show. It's perfect.
Very fun.
Very fun. Do this without like starting my intro.
Do you have a very specific intro
Yeah,
that you, yeah.
I do it every
I
show.
think most people do.
Yep. Good job. Super easy, right? Not
It
stressful.
was fun just talking to.
Yeah, that's the point. That's why I started this show. It's
My brain tangents
it's okay.
a lot.
You're not the first person. Christine, how are you?